There are many things we could do. We could do things, we could cut off the whole relationship. Now, if you did, what would happen? You'd save $500 billion if you cut off the whole relationship.
What the president is saying about China is interesting. It's an interesting diversion. Right now, our focus should be on meeting the needs of the American people.
President Trump has been like an ostrich in this whole crisis. He thinks by saying something it becomes true because he wants it to happen, not that it will happen. So he said it was a hoax. He said it will go away soon. He said warm weather. 2 months ago, he said everyone who wants a test can get a test. That clearly wasn't true. Dr. Fauci is a truth teller. He has to tell the whole truth here. The president does not like the truth. He likes a story that helps his own ego on the day he tells it. And that has had severe consequences for this country.
First and foremost, we need to be truthful with the American people. Americans deserve the truth. The truth must be based on science. We have the world's greatest scientists. Let us lead. Let us speak without fear of retribution. We must listen. Each of us can and must do our part now. On Tuesday, Dr. Fauci delivered a message in a voice that is clear and trustworthy as he encouraged us to act with caution as we return to our daily lives. We should listen to him and other scientists sharing their expertise.
I was surprised by his answer, actually, because, it's just, to me, it's not an acceptable answer.
The scope and speed of this downturn are without modern precedent, significantly worse than any recession since World War II. We are seeing a severe decline in economic activity and employment, and already the job gains of the last decade have been erased. Since the pandemic arrived in force just 2 months ago, more than 20 million people have lost their jobs. A Fed survey being released tomorrow reflects findings similar to many others. Among people who were working in February, almost 40% of those in households making less than $40,000 a year had lost a job. When this crisis is behind us, we will put these emergency tools away.
Had an explosive epidemic going on in their midst right then, and they brought down the hammer and the dance just dramatically. I mean, what we call a lockdown in this country to China is an absolute joke. We completely blew it for the first 2 months of our response. We were in a headless chicken phase, and yes, it's the president's fault. It is not China's fault. The head of the Chinese CDC was on the phone to Robert Redfield on January 1st, again on January 8th, and the two agencies were talking on January 19th. We fiddled around for 2 months. We had a test on March 5th, and it didn't work. We didn't have 10,000 people tested until March 15th. So we lost 2 months there. And that was because of incompetent leadership at the CDC. I'm sorry to say it's a great agency, but it's incompetently led. And I think Dr. Redfield should resign. And suppression from the top. I mean, the real cover-up was the person in this country who was saying, this is not an important virus. The flu is worse. It's all going to go away. It's nothing. And that encouraged everybody around him to say, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's